Hello and welcome to this short routine all about our breath and properly engaging our core through movement. You may want to have a cushion or a towel to sit on. You could also be sitting in a chair, and you may find that having a couple yoga blocks or stacks of books or boxes or something to prop yourself up on will be helpful. Also, if you knees get sore going onto all fours, you might want to have a towel to pad underneath your knees. So let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position, settling in here, feeling the heaviness of your legs and your pelvis into the floor and your spine gently lifting towards the ceiling. We're going to come in and focus on the breath. So we're going to slow the breath down and we're going to breathe low into the belly. And you can even put your hands on your low ribs or on your belly. And we gently feel the belly expanding open like a balloon on the inhale and the rib cage and belly relaxing in on the exhale. Keeping the breath slow and light. And you can play with where your hands might be placed on your body, feeling the expanding open on the inhale and the relaxation towards the center line on the exhale. As we inhale, the diaphragm opens and drops down. On the exhale, the diaphragm gently lifts up. So we can feel that up feeling and then growing of the spine on the exhale, even as the rib cage softens and relaxes down. And depending upon how much time you have in your day, you could stay here for longer and just tuning into that breath. But now let's go ahead and slowly lower down to the mat. Keeping the core turned on, we're going to lie on our backs and removing any hairs. The back of your skull lies straight on the ground. We're going to have the feet about hips width apart here. And we're going to fold the shoulder blades underneath the back. So here, the lower back is relaxing towards the ground, but it may not hit the ground. You might have a little space there. And we're going to tune back into that breath, feeling the belly opening on the inhale, the ribs expand in all directions, forward, side, and back. And then on the exhale, everything pulls towards the center line. And now we're going to accentuate that feeling on the exhale. So we expand open on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to force the air out. And we're going to pull everything towards the center line. Good. You can hold for a second, and then we expand open on the inhale. And exhale, pull everything to the center line. So you can keep going and also listen to my voice. When we pull everything to the center line, we're not taking the lower back towards the ground and tucking the pelvis. That's a different movement. The lower back is actually going to stay still and everything just squeeze into the center. And we want to squeeze lower abs, upper abs, middle abs, sides, everything goes to the center line. One more of these. We inhale, expand open, exhale. And this time we're going to hold that contraction. And now you do get to breathe into the upper chest a little bit here because we want to continue breathing and we want to continue holding that contraction in. This is great for like if you need to lift a heavy bag of groceries or a box and carry it across the room. We want to be able to turn on that core and breathe into the upper chest. All right, let's relax everything. Good. Take a couple normal breaths here. Just let everything go. And again, you could be practicing this for longer if you have more time. And if you're ready to move on, we're going to continue to work that contraction with the leg movement. So we find the inhale, we expand open, we exhale, squeeze all the air out, and we're going to lift the heels up off the ground. And you're going to feel that takes a little more work in the core to lift those heels. And then With the core engaged, we're going to set the heels back to the ground. Very good. So here we're going to go one more time. We inhale, open, exhale, squeeze everything in. That transverse abdominis muscle, this whole inner core is squeezing in toward the center line. And we're going to lift the heels up off the ground. Good. We keep that hold here, and we're going to breathe into the upper chest. Just take little sips of air here. And we keep pulling belly towards the center line. Good. And when you're ready, we let the heels go. So if that's working for you, we can begin to start to do our leg lifts. If the leg lifts are too challenging, keep working the heels. So this time we inhale, we exhale, we squeeze all the air out to the center line, engaging that inner core, our transverse abdominis muscle. We're going to lift one heel and now pull the belly again, and we lift the leg up. Now take a breath here, re-engage the core, and we're going to pull belly down as we slowly lower the leg to the ground. Good. Take a breath here, let everything relax. The tendency is for when the leg goes up and down is for the belly to pop up. So if you have your hands on your belly and you feel the popping up towards the ceiling, that's a clue that we're working now the outer core. And we actually want to keep pulling in and work the inner core. So here we go. We inhale, exhale, squeeze everything to center line, pull the belly down as we lift the opposite heel and the opposite leg off the ground. Take a breath here, a sip into the upper lungs, and then squeeze again on the exhale and slowly lower the leg down. Good, with control. Good, one more time each side. Inhale, exhale, we lift heel, leg, pull belly down, pull belly down. Good. At the top, inhale, exhale, squeeze, and squeeze, 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 squeeze as we lower the leg down. Good. One more time. Inhale, exhale, lift heel, lift leg. And inhale, exhale, squeeze belly in, and slowly lower your second leg down. Very good. Woo, take a moment here. And just notice if your lower back has been working, we want to make sure that lower back stays nice and relaxed. And we're going to slowly lower our legs over to one side, roll over, and slowly push yourself up to seated. And we're going to come into a modified boat pose. So here we're going to take the hands behind the shoulders, and you can have your hands, fingers pointing in whatever direction feels good to you. And we're going to lift through the chest. So here you are going to feel that inner core turning on. This is very good. We keep the spine long, crown of head reaching to the ceiling. We're going to inhale and then exhale, pull the belly in and let the knees fall over to one side. Inhale, expand, open, keep lifting to the chest. Exhale, pull belly in, lift knees back to center. Inhale here, lift chest. Exhale, belly in as the knees fall to one side. Good. Again, inhale, open chest. Exhale, pull belly in to lift those knees to center. Now you can play with the distance of your knees. You can have them together or apart and see what feels good to your body. So we're here, we inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, turn that core on as the knees fall to one side. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, pull belly in, back to center. So we're coordinating the movement of the knees and the legs with the support of the core. Good. Very nice. This should feel good on the back. And also, it should feel like you're working your core a little bit here. And this isn't necessarily like a workout that's going to make you strain and struggle. It's a workout about finding your inner core muscles and using them to help support your body for its movement. Very good. Coming back to center, let's go ahead and find our way into all fours. Now here is a place where if your knees are feeling ouchy on the floor, go ahead and just take a towel and pat up under your knees. If your arms are feeling not great, or like the weight is going to be too much here into your wrist or to your shoulders, you can always come in and do this on blocks or stacks of books, whatever you have. So wherever you are, we are going to get onto all fours and have the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. The fingers are facing towards the top of your mat, and your wrist crease here is parallel to the top of the mat. From here, we're going to plant all 10 knuckles into the mat, really focusing on the thumb and the first finger. And we're going to draw the elbows out to the side and then back. So the position we want is those elbows back towards the knees. So if I bent my elbows are facing towards my thighs. Good. We feel a long line of energy out the crown of the head and out the tailbone. And we push the floor away. So here we're going to do a couple gentle cat-cows, just loosening up the back a little bit. We inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chin, and let the chest drop towards the floor. On the exhale, we tuck tailbone, tuck chin, pull belly up to the ceiling. And here we're really going to accentuate that pull, turning on the core. Inhale, lift chin, lift tailbone, drop belly to the floor. Exhale and curl. So please here, move on your own breath. We inhale, looking up, chin up, tailbone up, push floor away. Exhale, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, and pull belly up to the ceiling. Couple more here on your own time. Keeping those elbows pulling back towards the thighs. Breath is nice and even and slow. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we find our way back to center. Very good. We realign our hands and our elbows. If you need to, plant all 10 knuckles into the mat. Draw those elbows back and push the floor away. You're going to feel your lat muscles here, the big back muscles starting to engage. We're going to tuck our toes and we're going to come into a little more core workout here. So we inhale, stretch your spine long, push floor away. Exhale, pull belly up and hover the knees. So this is a lot into the arms as well as the core. With control, we gently lower back down. So again, here, there's a place where you could be on blocks to take some of the weight out of your arms and your wrists. You could also be on your knuckles if that was better for your wrists. Let's try here with the blocks. We reset our position, elbows back. Inhale, stretch the spine long. Exhale, pull belly in and lift. And we keep drawing the elbows back in towards the thighs. So if I bend my elbows here, they're shooting back towards the knees. We hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down with control. One more time. Inhale, stretch spine long. Exhale, pull belly in and lift. So you're going to feel your legs working, your core working. We keep pulling the belly to the spine. Lift, 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 belly up. And 3, 2, 1, slowly lower it down. Very good. At any time, if you need to take a rest into child's pose or roll out your wrists, go for it. Just take the time you need. So this movement is great because it sets us up for down dog. We could still have our blocks out with the hands on blocks if that works for you. We're going to keep the toes tucked and spread the fingers wide. Draw the elbows back. Push the floor away. So here we go. We're going to inhale, push the spine long. Exhale, pull belly in, lift knees, and we begin to shift the weight back towards the heels. Now, here I'm going to keep the knees nice and bent, and I'm going to bring my chest towards the thighs. Chest towards the thighs. Nice big stretch here through the arms and the back. Inhale and exhale, come forward with control, back down to all fours. Very good. So there is no rush to straighten the legs. Instead, we want to draw our chest back towards the thighs. Inhale, push floor away. Exhale, lift knees and send the hips back high. Tailbone is to the sky, chest towards the thighs, and the crown of the head relaxes down towards the mat. And if it feels good to you, we can begin to straighten the legs, begin sending some weight back towards the heels. but only if the chest can stay towards the thighs. Big inhale here. And exhale, pull belly in, rock your weight forward, and slowly, slowly, with control, lower to the ground. So that exit is also some work. Watch the elbows, make sure they're staying back towards your thighs. Here we go, one more round. We push the floor away. Find your inhale, exhale, pull belly in, send the hips back, tailbone to the sky, chest to the thighs. And we keep spreading the fingers wide, pushing the floor away as we begin to think about straightening the legs and sending the heels to the mat. Good. Taking one last big breath here. And on the exhale, belly in, and we slowly send the weight forward and knees back to the mat. Good. You're taking a moment, just sitting back into what's known as puppy pose. So the heels are still, toes are still tucked, heels are up, and the chest goes towards the mat. Relaxing the head down. Very good. Nice big inhale here, expanding open through the rib cage. And exhale, pull belly in, and we come back into our all fours. So we are now going to transition from our down dog into a low lunge. So you may want to have your blocks here, and you can have your hands on blocks, or you can have the blocks to the side, just ready to rock and roll when we get into our lunge. So here we go. We're going to come into our down dog. Reposition the hands, spread the fingers wide, draw the elbows back. Find that inhale and exhale. Send the tailbone high, chest to the thighs, and begin to come into your down dog. Good. Nice big breath here. We're going to inhale, lift that right knee towards the ceiling. And exhale, right knee to the nose. And we pull the belly up and in, just like our cat-cow, right? The belly is up, 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 up. And then we begin to set the right foot to the mat. And you might need to hop it up. And you can even lift a hand up if you need to get that foot up. This is a great place where blocks can be helpful here. So let's go ahead and have our blocks on either side of our foot. And we're going to drop the rear knee to the ground. Coming into a nice hip flexor opening here. You can play with the height of your block. So you might feel that you want to have the chest more lifted here, or you may want to be lower to the ground. You're just going to kind of hunt around and feel what feels good for your stretch. The back foot can be untucked or tucked, whichever feels better to you. And we're going to take a moment here to breathe. Again, tuning in to slowing down the breath, especially the exhale. When we are stretching, it is really good for our nervous system to let go by slowing down that exhale. We allow the hips to be heavy down. And again, there's no really right or wrong position here. It's like, does it feel good to you? If you feel like you need to move around a little bit and just hunt for that nice stretch, that's totally fine. Once you find a place that feels good for you, we're going to settle in for 2 more breaths. Releasing any tension you might be holding in your head or neck. All right, so here I'm going to do a version with my hands on the block. So we're going to place the block just to the edge of either side of your mat by your front foot. We spread the fingers wide on the block. We tuck the back toes. We lift back knee. And here, activate through the core. Push the floor away. Pull that knee up and in and send your foot back into our down dog. Again, the knees can be bent and the heels can be off the ground here. And we think drive the chest back towards the thighs, pushing the floor away. We go to the second side. We lift that knee towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we take the knee to the nose. And here, this is work. We pull the knee up, we push the floor away, activating to that core, and then we take the foot forward between the hands. With the block, I'm going to see if you can get the foot all the way up in one smooth motion. Yeah. If not, that's something we work towards. Good. We're going to set that back knee gently to the ground. And here, adjust your blocks. And either side may be different. Like your sides may be different. So it might feel good to you to just hunt around on this side and feel your best stretch, wherever that is for you. It can be high or it can be low. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. And if your knee feels at all ouchy on the ground, definitely have a padding underneath your knee. We really want to make sure that we can come into full relaxation when we're doing our stretches. We'll take a couple breaths here. Again, tuning in to the idea of breathing all the way down into the low lungs, allowing the breath to be soft and slow. We notice if we're holding any tension in the head or neck, and we let that go. Lengthening out the exhale. Ideally, we would love the exhale to be twice as long as the inhale. So if we were counting, we would breathe in, maybe with a count of 3 or 4 or 5, and then we would exhale for twice that. That would be 6 or 8 or 10. And if it feels like you need to move or shift, go ahead and shift that stretch, and then we'll come in for our last couple breaths here. Allowing the pelvis to be heavy towards the ground. And when you're ready, you can either put your blocks to the side or place your blocks again with the broad side down. Spread the fingers wide, tuck the back toes, lift back knee, and we're going to push the floor away, draw the elbows back, and pull belly in to lift the leg, coming back into our down dog. And maybe it feels good here just to bend one knee at a time and walk it out. And then on your next exhale, slowly, slowly, we lower the knees back towards the ground. Keep pushing the floor away, keep pulling the belly in. Very good. All right, let's untuck the toes and we're going to sit back in a child's pose. You can have your hands on the mat here. And another variation, if you have blocks, is to reach those blocks forward and allow your hands to rest on the blocks and then just take your head towards the mat. The knees can be wide or you can pull the knees underneath you. Either one is fine. If you need a little extra support for your hips, you can always put a towel or a pillow underneath your bum. I'm going to choose knees wide and hands on blocks. So a little extra chest opening here. And we send that breath low into the lower back space, opening up through the side ribs, through the back ribs, and allow all the body just to release and to relax and let go. And taking one last breath here. And on your exhale, we're slowly, slowly going to roll up. So belly pulls in, and we use our hands to help, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming back into your comfortable seated position, wherever that is for you. Taking a moment to honor yourself for your practice. One last nice breath in here, filling in that belly, low ribs. Exhaling, switching up to the sky. Honoring yourself for your practice and your work. May all beings be happy and free.